In this video, we are going to see how to get Slack notifications for failed Stripe payments. So let's say that you are using Stripe as a payment gateway, and every time a payment has been failed here for any of the reasons, you want to update your team which is sitting on Slack about the same. How can you do that? For this, you will have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. So here, your trigger application will be Stripe and your action application will be Slack. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply click on sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in, and as I do that, here we have reached all applications page. Now let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. Now here we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this, and as we do that, here another dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Now you can give any random name. So what is my objective here? My objective is, for any reason when there is a failed payment on Stripe, then I want the details to be shared with my team sitting on Slack. Get Slack notification for failed Stripe payments. Let's click on create. And as we do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically action here is the response of your trigger application. Now as per this integration, my trigger application will be Stripe. Let's click on this. And the trigger event here would be, so I'm going to take you down, and this here is payment failed. So this workflow is going to run every time there is a failed payment. Now you can see that we have received a webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge for connecting Pabbly Connect with Stripe. I'm going to copy this. Now as I do that, here we have to follow the following help desk. So first let me take you to my Stripe account. So this is my Stripe account. Here we have to go to developers. Then you can see webhooks. Let's click on this, and then I'm going to click on add endpoint. Now here we have to paste the URL that we have just received through Pabbly Connect. Now for the version thing, let's select latest API version, and then we have to select the event. So here we are going to look for the failed payment. So this here is what we are going to choose, payment intent, payment failed. Now I'm going to click on add events, add endpoint. So as we do that, so here we can see our webhook is all set. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. So here it is saying do a test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. For this, I'm going to take you back to Stripe. Let's go to payments. Now here we can see payment links. Let's click on this. Now here, let's say that I want to buy this course, PHP course for beginners for 8 weeks. So I'm going to copy this and open this in a new incognito window. As I do that, here we have reached the payment page. Now let's enter the email address. So let's say it is new user at pabblytudes.com. Then here we have the card information. So what I'm going to do is, here we have got certain test cards. Now this is just a test submission. So I'm going to use this particular card which is for generic decline. So I'm going to add this information here. And here, once we have filled in this information, and as I do that, here you can see that the card has been declined, which basically means that the payment has been failed. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. And yes, here we can see that we have received the API response. So what is the type here? It is payment intent, payment failed. Now as I take you down, again here you can see that this is the amount that has been mentioned. This is the name of the course. Now the amount that has been mentioned is more than the real amount. Why? Because there's a little glitch with Stripe. It doesn't take decimal into account. Then again here you can see that this is the email address of the user. Now once I have received this information, I want to send the information to my team sitting on Slack. But before that, I'm going to correct the amount. How do I do that? For this, I'm going to choose a feature by Pabbly which is number formatter. Let's click on this. Now the action event here would be to perform math operation. Let's click on connect.
As I do that, here we have to enter the number. So we are going to map this information. How? As I click on this here is the previous step, and now I'm going to take you down, and as I do that, this here is the amount. I'm going to put a comma and write 100. Now the method with which I have added this information here is known as mapping, and it is important so that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data into consideration. Now comes the operation. So here I'm going to write divide. Let's click on save and send test request. So here you can see we have received the right amount. So if you want to perform any operation, you have to just put a comma and then you have to write the number with which you want to add, divide or subtract or multiply. Now I'm going to add another action step here. This time the application will be Slack. Let's click on this. And the action event here would be to send channel message. Let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with a Slack account. I'm going to click on add new connection, connect with Slack. Now whenever you are sending a message to your team, there may or may not be some images or URLs. So for this, always choose your token type as user. Let's click on save. So here Pabbly Connect is requesting permission to access the Pabbly Slack workspace. So I'm going to click on allow, and as I do that, here you can see that the authorization has been successful. Once this is done, we have to fill in this information. Before I do this, I'm going to take you to my Slack account. So this is my Slack account and this is the workspace Pabbly, and here you can see there are various channels. You can create your own channel by clicking on this add channels tab. I already have created a channel with certain members. The name is Stripe Failed Payments. So this is what I'm going to map here. So this is Stripe Failed Payments. Now what is the message that I want to share with my team? So I'm going to write team new failed payment through Stripe. Now I'm going to add the details. So for this, first of all, product. So what is the product? So for this I'm going to go to step 1, and as I take you down, so this is the name of the product. Then we have the amount, and I'm going to go to step 2, and this here is the amount. Then let's say user's email address. So what is the user's email address? So let's look for the email address, and here it is. So now let's quickly write regards, and this is the message that I want to share with my team on Slack. If you have any particular image, you can add the URL here, text here, bot name, bot icon, etc. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request, and as I do that, here we have received the API response according to which a message must be sent on Slack. Let me go and check the same, and yes, here it is. This means that our integration is a success, but we also need to check the same in real time. So I'm going to go back to Stripe, and I'm going to copy this URL once again, open this in a new incognito window. So let's say the email address here is newsmartuser@pabblytudes.com. Then here I'm going to enter the card information. So again, I'm going to go to the test cards, and I'm going to copy this generic decline card, add the information here. Then here we have the CVC, and now I'm going to click on subscribe. So again, we can see that the card has been declined, which means the payment has been failed. Now what should happen? Automatically a message should be sent on Slack. So I'm going to go to Slack, and yes, here you can see that we have received another information. This is newsmartuser@pabblytudes.com. This basically means that our integration is a complete success. Going back to Pabbly Connect. So let's quickly understand what we have done. So here our trigger application is Stripe, where the event is payment failed. Then we have chosen a feature by Pabbly, which is number formatter, to perform a math operation, basically to correct the amount. And then our final action application is Slack, where we had to send a channel message. I hope you are absolutely clear with this. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.